Hi guys! Okay, so we are going to be looking at how to write an essay with All About Eve, and I'm going to talk you through it. So, let's go. Alright, so, All About Eve. The first thing you need to do is that you will get 2 questions to pick from in your assessment time. You need to pick the right question for you. Don't necessarily pick the question that's the easiest. Pick the one that you have the most to say about. Often it's quite tempting to take that question that you go, well, the answer is yes. Don't just go for that one because it's easy. Go for the one where you kind of go, I kind of agree with this statement, or I kind of disagree, but there's a bit of back and forth. That's the question you want to pick because it means that you're going to have an essay with depth. You're going to have something more interesting to say. Okay? The question that I'm going to use for this example is, it is Eve's ruthless pursuit of ambition that leads us to dislike her. Do you agree? Okay? That's the question that I'm going to be using today. So, once you've picked your question, what you want to do is highlight your key terms. Now, your key terms are the ones that, I guess, make or break the question. Okay, so for instance, with the question I've got, I've highlighted the key terms in red. So I've said it's pursuit of ambition and the words dislike her are the important ones in that question. The reason they're the important ones is because, without those words, the question wouldn't really mean much. Okay, so there's 2 reasons why we highlight key terms. One, because highlighting key terms make sure that we understand the question, but also highlighting key terms helps us in terms of reminding us that these are the words that we need to use in our essays in order to make sure that the person who's marking our exam or our essay understands that we understand the question. Okay? All right, then step 3. You need to write out your contention. Okay, so your contention is what you feel like the answer to the question is. Okay, now sometimes our contention is our arguments, and that is totally fine. Okay, if your contention is your arguments, that like you kind of had 3 things to say about the question to answer it, then they're your paragraphs, they're your arguments, and that's fine. Okay, sometimes your contention is a little bit separate from your arguments, and that's okay too. Okay, so for my example, my contention is my arguments. So I've got my contention here. And when you're writing out your contention, try and use the key words in your statement. Okay, so that you are sure that you're kind of addressing all parts of the question, all the important parts. Okay, so Eve's ruthless pursuit of ambitions is portrayed by Mankiewicz in a way to encourage the audience to dislike her. So the first bit of my contention is saying, yeah, she does encourage, her pursuit of ambition makes us dislike her. However, he allows there to be a sense of pity towards her when her ambition is harnessed. Okay, so that's me kind of disagreeing to an extent. So I'm saying, yes, on the whole we do dislike her, but at the end we kind of pity her rather than dislike her. And then my third kind of thing that I wanted to say about the question is about ambition. And I say ambition, however, is not disliked. So it's not ambition that's the problem. In male characters such as DeWitt, Bill Sampson and Lloyd Richards, suggesting that Mankiewicz sees ambitiousness as problematic only in women. Okay, so you can probably see there what I'm going to do next. That should say step 4, shouldn't it? Once I've written my contention, I need to work out what my arguments are, and for me, all I need to do is to take that contention statement and I can split it up into 3. I'm going to do one paragraph about her ruthless pursuit of ambition and how it causes the audience to dislike her. And then I'm going to do a paragraph about how we have a sense of pity towards her at the end when her ambition is harnessed by DeWitt, where he kind of takes control of her. And then my third paragraph is going to say, ambition is not disliked in male characters such as DeWitt, Sampson, and Lloyd, suggesting that Mankiewicz sees ambitiousness as problematic only in women. Okay, so that's going to be my third argument. Now, the reason I kind of put that as my third argument is because what I'm doing with that paragraph is I'm kind of extending out the question, aren't I? I'm kind of taking the question to the next level. And they should always be kind of your final paragraph. So your first paragraph, it's always good to kind of very clearly and straightforwardly address the question. And then your second paragraph might kind of challenge aspects of the question, or look at your response in a different way. And then your third paragraph, take that question a little bit further and explore it a little bit more, I guess, laterally. Looking at it a little bit differently. Okay, so that is my plan. Okay, so then we are going to move on to introductions, which you'll see in the next video.